Roses are red, violets are blue, but the iris is the flower that will mean the end of
You can run from Suspiria. You can hide from Suspiria. Suspiria. But you cannot escape. Suspiria. The only thing more terrifying than the last 12 minutes of Suspiria are the first 92.
Suspiria was released in 1977, and it was directed by Dario Argento. It tells the story of an American newcomer who ends up attending this prestigious German ballet academy, only to find out that it is a front for a more sinister thing involving a series of gruesome murders. Okay, so Suspiria. What do I think of Suspiria? Alright. So we're not talking about the remake here, obviously. We're talking about the original by Dario Argento, and this movie is fucking brilliant. This is one of the best Italian horror films ever made. I'm telling you, this movie, great performances from everybody, beautiful cinematography. This is one of the best looking horror films of the 70s. Wow. It is bright and colorful. All of the colors pop, even during the dark scenes. This is one of the most colorful horror movies you'll ever see. Other than something like Midsommar or something. It's very colorful, very vibrant, everything pops. And the cinematography is absolutely outstanding too. Great camera work all around in this film. And the performances are good, even despite the fact that if you watch the English version, like the English dub, the dubbing is pretty bad, but even with the dubbing, the voice actors for the dubbing also do a surprisingly good job. I have the Synapse Films Blu-ray, and yeah, the dubbing is, even though it never matches the fucking mouth movements, the voice acting itself is surprisingly very good. Though, let's talk about the horror, because this is a horror film after all. It is effective. This movie's brutal. It is violent. It is gory. But it doesn't just rely on the gore and violence for the horror. There is a lot of suspense in this film. So much tension. When the horror shit goes down, it fucking goes down. And there's like a supernatural element to this film too, and that shit really works too. I could definitely see some people finding this scary back in the day. Now, I don't find horror films scary, but when the horror is effective, I will point it out. And this movie does a very effective job at its horror. A lot of anxiety, lots of tension, suspense, and then you also get your nice gory bits for all you gore hounds out there. And the way Dario Argento does gore, it's a similar thing to the movie Deep Red, which personally I think Deep Red is even better than this, but when it comes to like the blood effects, it's a very bright red. It's very vibrant along with the rest of the scenery in this film. The blood pops out and there's a lot of it, so definitely keep that in mind. If you don't like gore, you're not going to like Suspiria. The characters are all very interesting. Some of them are likable, some of them are not, but even the not so likable characters are very interesting. I thought the screenplay was really good. A lot of good banter between the characters. They all have chemistry, so there's that. Dario Argento definitely does a good job at keeping these characters interesting, but also letting the actors give good performances too. Dario Argento was one of the best back in the 70s, let me tell you. And now, yeah, Suspiria, besides bad dubbing in the English dub, I don't have any issues with Suspiria at all. And the bad dubbing, I don't blame the filmmaking for that, because this is an Italian film, and this movie was originally in Italian, so the dubbing does not hinder the movie's quality. It's just how it is. If English-speaking audiences don't want to watch the movie in subtitles in a different language, the English dub is there for you, and if you don't mind bad dubbing, it's not going to bother you, okay? There's no issues with Suspiria. This is a very atmospheric, entertaining, very supernatural and psychological horror film that's very satisfying. Suspiria is definitely one of the best 70s horror films, for sure. And one of the best in Italian horror, too. So yeah, if you ever get the chance to watch Suspiria, I highly recommend it. I am going to give Suspiria an A+.